Hi, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Morgan. Today we're going to be making some more breakfast freezer meals. If you hear anything in the background, it's just my baby. He's playing like normal. If you watch any of my other videos, he's normally always in the background. I made a video a couple weeks ago on some breakfast freezer meals. I made sausage burritos, sausage biscuits, and pancakes. Well, we only have one bag of each left, and I can't have that. So they were just too easy and too good to not have some more in the freezer. But I wanted to switch it up a bit. So today we're going to be making some bacon and caramelized onion croissants, sausage egg bites, and coconut and white chocolate chip pancakes. I will link the recipes that I'm basing my recipes off of down below, but I don't ever follow a recipe exactly unless it comes to baking. That's the only caveat. So I am just basing my recipes off of them. So enough chit chat. We need to caramelize up some onions, bake our bacon, and fry up our sausage. So let's get started. I am preheating my oven to 400 degrees for the bacon, and I will be getting my skillet warming up for the sausage. And I'm just going to be browning this sausage and breaking it into little chunks because this sausage is going to go into the copycat Starbucks egg bites. My favorite way to cook bacon is on baking sheets. So I'm getting it lined onto my baking sheet so I can collect the bacon fat that comes off of it, and I'm just waiting for my oven to preheat, so I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping up all of my onions. They were pretty strong, so my eyes were watering, and getting them into my skillet with some avocado oil. You could use butter or whatever else you wanted to use to brown the onions, and I'm just going through and chopping up all the sausage, trying to break it in a little bit. I'm salting the onions to draw out the moisture so they'll caramelize down. And in the meantime, I got the bacon in the oven. Now I'm moving on to the egg bites. So I am cracking 40 eggs into my big mixing bowl for these egg bites. Now it's time to add the rest of the ingredients, and I am eyeballing everything. So I added whole milk, salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder, and half of the container of Greek yogurt, just whatever was left in there. And I'm whisking it all together. The bacon was done, so I'm getting that onto a plate so I can use that baking sheet. I'm going to wash up one of those baking sheets after I collect the bacon fat, and I'm putting my little silicone molds onto it so it's a more sturdy surface, and I'm filling it with the egg mixture. I'm adding the ground sausage and cheddar cheese. You only want to go like 3/4 of the way up your sides of your mold, but I'm filling them up all the way. It really won't matter. We'll eat them. This is what the onions were looking like after probably about 30 minutes, and I'm going to cook them down for probably another 15 to 20 minutes or until I'm ready to assemble my sandwiches. It is time to get these egg bites in the oven. And I had my oven preheated to 350 degrees now, and we are going to get these in there and bake them around 30 minutes. They took about 35 minutes for me this time. And with our other baking sheet, we are not going to waste that bacon fat, so I am just going to spread that egg mixture onto the cookie sheet. And we're just going to make sheet pan scrambled eggs. And if my husband wants to use these for the croissant sandwiches, he can. I have a hot soapy rag, and I'm just wiping down my counters so they're nice and clean. And we'll be assembling our croissant sandwiches next. So I'm cutting all my croissants in half. I just got them at Aldi's. And I'm adding cheddar cheese, the caramelized onions, and 1 piece of bacon. You could definitely add more, or you could even add sausage or an egg or ham or turkey. Whatever you want to do, you can customize them however you want. I'm individually wrapping these sandwiches, and then I'll be sticking them in a Ziploc bag just for some extra protection in the freezer. We got the sandwiches all bagged up just in time to get the egg bites out of the oven. These probably took close to 45 minutes since I added that extra sheet of scrambled eggs. But just be very careful when you're taking your eggs out of the silicone mold. I would definitely let them cool a little bit because they are very hot, but I was running short on time and then I needed to get the next batch in the oven. So I am just making do and burning my fingertips just a little bit, so just be careful. They are a lot easier to get out of the mold if you just let it cool a little bit, and then you can take your finger and kind of pop them out from the back. That's the easiest way to do it, but like I said, since I was running short on time, I just had to get them out of there. You can flavor these egg bites however you'd like. You could use bacon, ham, turkey. You could just leave them plain as plain eggs. You can season them however you want. You can add whatever cheese you'd like. You could even add salsa or hot sauce. These are so customizable. You can just do whatever you want with them and they turn out amazing. I got these silicone molds at Michael's, and I know Hobby Lobby has them, and I'm sure you could probably find them on Amazon or maybe even the grocery stores. I'm not really sure, but that's where I found mine. And I highly recommend them because at first I was using muffin tins and the eggs just stick so bad inside of them because they're metal, and with these silicone molds, they just pop right out as long as you let them cool a little bit. But if they are hot, they tend to stick. So let them cool. I got the egg mixture spread out as evenly as I could. Now I'm adding the breakfast sausage, and my husband really likes meat with everything, so as much meat as possible. So I'm adding as much as I can before they overflow. So add as much or as little as you like. And again, I'm adding cheddar cheese, but you could add whatever cheese you'd like white cheddar or mozzarella. It is completely up to you. Now I am slicing up the sheet pan scrambled eggs, and I'm going to get them cooling on a plate. And I'm going to bag up the rest of that breakfast sausage and get that in the freezer so it's prepped cooked meat ready to go. And that's the rest of the egg bites, and you see they come out a lot easier if you just let them cool a little bit. And I am going through, and you'll see what I do. I end up moving all of these egg bites to the other cookie sheet with some parchment paper. I figured if I let them freeze on that cookie sheet, they'll probably stick, so I decided to add a layer of parchment paper down to help prevent the stickage. And I am washing out my other cookie sheet and getting the sheet pan scrambled eggs onto it so they do not stick. So it is currently much later, but we are going to get started on the coconut white chocolate chip pancakes. I will link the recipe down in the description box if you want to follow along. I am going to be tripling this recipe though, so I get a big batch of pancakes. I need 6 cups of flour, 'm just using the base recipe that I used last time in my breakfast freezer meal video because it's my favorite pancake recipe. So I'm using that base recipe, but I'm adding to it to make it coconut white chocolate chip. Next is 3/4 cup of sugar. Next is 12 teaspoons of baking powder. This is what makes the pancakes so fluffy. I'm gonna count that as 3. I'm gonna do 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm gonna whisk this all together. I hope my bowl is big enough. I had to pull some butter out of the freezer, so this stick is a little frozen. Alright, gonna pop this in the microwave. So to my dry ingredients, I'm going to add 3/4 cup melted butter. And then in total, I'm gonna add 5 1/4 cups of milk. So that was 4 cups, so I'll need to add 1 1/4 cups more milk. I'm going to add the rest of the milk. Last but not least, I'm supposed to add 6 teaspoons of vanilla extract, but instead I'm going to add 5 teaspoons of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of coconut extract to make these a more coconutty pancake. Looks like I need to make some more vanilla. I will just fill this up with vodka and let it infuse for up to 6 months, probably closer to 12. That way I don't waste those vanilla beans. And then 1 teaspoon of coconut. And I'm just using the McCormick coconut extract. All right, now I'm gonna give this one final whisk. Making sure to get out any stuck dry flour from the sides so it gets all incorporated. And I'm going to add probably a cup or 2 of sweetened coconut flakes inside the batter. And then I will add the chocolate chips on top of the pancake before I flip them. I don't want to incorporate them into the batter, but I want to incorporate this coconut in so it doesn't burn on my skillets. I tried this flavor combination the second time I made these pancakes. The first time I made it, I just made it just plain old regular pancakes. I followed the recipe exactly. But I tried this the second time because I had some sweetened coconut that needed used up. and I fell in love with this combination. It's like coconut cream pie is my absolute favorite pie, and this just reminds me so much of it, just in pancake form. I'm gonna let this batter sit and rest while I preheat my skillets. I'm gonna be using my 12-inch cast iron and the griddle that fits on my middle burner on my stovetop. So let's go ahead and knock out these pancakes. I've got my skillet on a medium-low heat. I'm adding a pat of butter, and then I'm dolloping these pancakes with a 1/4 measuring cup. And while I'm washing these pancakes, I'm filling up my vanilla again, and I'm gonna let that infuse for probably 12 months. And I'm also trying to put away some dishes that I had washed up. And before I flip the pancakes, I sprinkle in some white chocolate chips, so they turn into coconut white chocolate chip pancakes. All right, there we have it. Another big breakfast freezer meal session all wrapped up for the day. We have our coconut white chocolate chip pancakes, and I tried one already, and they are absolutely delicious. If you like coconut and pancakes, I would definitely give it a try because the combination is just heavenly. And we have 24 bacon, cheddar cheese, and caramelized onion croissants all wrapped up, ready to go. I'm really excited about these because this is what I made way back in high school on summer vacations, and this is just gonna bring me back to those days, and I cannot wait for them. I decided with some of that egg mixture that I baked up this baking sheet just with the egg mixture. I didn't add any sausage or anything to it. Since my husband will probably be eating some of these too, he likes a little bit more protein on his sandwich, so I decided I would cut this baking sheet up into squares and flash freeze these individually, so if he wants to add an egg to his sandwich, he can. I personally won't be, but if he wants to, that's totally okay. Or if we just want to microwave them up and have some already prepped scrambled eggs, then they're ready to go. And we got an entire sheet of sausage, egg, and cheddar cheese egg bites. This is kind of like a copycat Starbucks recipe that I added sausage to. I believe it uses cottage cheese for the mixture, but I swap it for Greek yogurt for a little bit of an extra protein boost, and it turns out just fine. So that's what I really like to do. It's just like, it's a packed full, ready to go breakfast. I had a couple questions in my last freezer meal video of like how long something like this would last for, say, a family of 2 or 4. For me and my husband, since our baby isn't eating like total solid foods yet like this, it'll last us probably 2 or 3 weeks if we solely eat this for breakfast. If we have other things with it like oatmeal or breakfast scramble that my husband likes for me to make, or even like Greek yogurt for breakfast, this will probably last us at least like a month or a month and a half, as long as we sprinkle in some other things along with this during the week. But if we solely eat these, it'll probably last 2 or 3 weeks. Since my husband likes to kind of eat this even for lunches or dinners, if he needs something quick and ready to go for his work lunch, he can just grab some of this and be at the door lickety-split if I don't have anything prepped for lunch or dinner. And some other questions I got was, how long do these kind of things need microwaved for, or how do you warm them up? So typically, I only warm them up in the microwave, but you could surely use the toaster oven or air fryer. It'll just all depend on what you prefer. So personally, microwaving for me, pancakes from frozen or even thawed, about 30 seconds per pancake. Whether they're frozen or thawed, it seems to be right around 30 to 45 seconds. For the breakfast sandwiches, I like to microwave them for like a minute, and then I'll split them in half, so it's like the top and the bottom on the plate. And then I'll microwave it for like another minute, just depending on how done it is already. The egg bites, probably about 2 minutes if I get a whole entire bowl full of egg bites. And then probably for these just scrambled up squared eggs, probably 30 to 45 seconds per egg. But it all depends on your microwave's wattage too. So if you do make these meals, I would just go off of that as a baseline and just tweak from there, and you'll find a sweet spot of when things will be done. Thank you all so much for watching another big freezer meal video. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd love to watch me make more freezer meal videos, make sure to let me know in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.